fans, I'm not even going to attempt to lie to you. I'm not going to tell you a white lie. I'm not going to tell you a partial lie. The truth is, this is likely the worst season y'all will have in the last 5 years.
Shut up the Bills! It's not a house game! It's not a house game!
Yeah, we the Buffalo Bills. Yeah, we the Buffalo Bills. You better know that. Look how we throwing and catching, cause we are unstoppable, yeah. You better know that. Look how we running and hitting, cause we are unstoppable, yeah. Reppin' the mafia, yeah. Reppin' the mafia, Bills, mafia, yeah. You better know that. Look how we throwing and catching, cause we are unstoppable, yeah. You better know that. Look how we running and hitting, cause we are unstoppable, yeah. Call me now, listen. Everyone play their position. Buffalo got a tradition. They say we tripping. They better get out our way. Top of the table, we flipping. We on a mission. Got an unstoppable team. Continue to follow your dream by any means. Buffalo, get in the Super Bowl ring. Cause we the Buffalo Bills. Yeah, we the Buffalo Bills. You better know that. Look how we throwing and catching, cause we are unstoppable, yeah. You better know that. Look how we running and hitting, cause we are unstoppable, yeah. Reppin' the mafia, yeah. Reppin' the mafia, Bills, mafia, yeah. You better know that. Look how we throwing and catching, cause we are unstoppable, yeah. You better know that. Look how we running and hitting, cause we are unstoppable, yeah. Mafia up in your city, time to get gritty. Screaming and yelling, we bugging. Look at the red and blue.
This is an MVP year for Josh Allen. As an MVP voter, I said this last week. Josh Allen, he looks like an MVP. When you vote for MVP, and I can speak for myself, I think I'm one of 50 voters, you look at a couple things. Who's the best team in football? Who's the best player on that team in football? What do they look like as the best player on that team in football? And how much talent is around that best player on that best team in football?
Good evening. This is a quick recording. We're going to talk a little bit about the Buffalo Bills extending some of their young core. Over the last few days, we got news of a Khalil Shakir extension, followed up with a Terrell Bernard extension. Khalil Shakir, let me pull up the numbers. Well, I'm not going to do that right now, but Khalil Shakir was extended. Terrell Bernard was extended, and just today, we get word of the Gregory Rousseau extension. And I am extremely happy about all of that because the young core is sticking around. Brandon Beane really took to heart with the draft, developed, and retain mentality. That's what he said. That's what he's showing. The guys that work out are the ones that are still around. So with that being said, we go into free agency in a couple of days. I think Monday or Tuesday, free agency starts. In addition, another extension was Reed Ferguson, long snapper, special teams guy in Buffalo. He was also extended. I think they gave him like a 3-year deal or whatever. But ultimately, the Bills are in a really good spot. They can clear like $90 million they wanted to pull every single lever. I don't think they have to. But they do need to go into free agency and address, in my opinion, 3 positions. They have to go out and get 3 positions in free agency, in addition to retaining the guys that some of the guys that we that are up for free agency right now. So you have Reggie Gilliam. I would like to see him resign. Quentin Morris. Whatever. If they bring him back, great. If not, whatever. The thing with Quentin Morris is he's a special teams guy as well. The Bills love their special teams guys, so I really think that they're gonna extend him out and bring him back. But they didn't offer a tender on his. He's like an RFA, so they didn't offer a tender, which would have netted him a draft pick if somebody, because of the cost they would have had to guarantee or set aside for his contract. So They didn't do that. So, if you've been paying attention to the news and the content creators and all of these different experts saying what the Buffalo Bills should do or where they see all of these various free agents and different guys that are available around the league, where they see them going. Um, Ultimately, the Bills never really come up in the Trey Hendrickson, and I'm not talking about like Bills fans. We talk about it all the time. We talk about let's get Miles Garrett, let's get DK Metcalf, let's get this guy, let's get this guy. I think our name came up with the DK thing, but with Trey Hendrickson and all of these other high level free agents on the defensive side, which is where we kind of need the help. Not kind of, but it's where we need the help. We Our name doesn't get mentioned the way other teams like the Eagles or the and for different reasons. Obviously, the Eagles just won, but um, they're more likely to make big moves in order to continue to keep elite talent surrounding their quarterback. Whereas, Josh Allen kind of elevates the talent around him. So um, the Bills usually don't make huge splashes. It was a big deal when they signed Von Miller. So with that being said, I think we're 3 points short of, or 4 points short of getting to the Super Bowl. I don't believe that that's by coincidence that our name is not coming up in these conversations. So, um, I'm going to talk a little bit about where I see the Bills kind of going and why they need to go in the directions that they should go. So, let me pull up Spot Rack real quick and pull up the free agents. Free agents, NFL. Let's go. Let's go. All right. All right. Okay. Cool. So I got that up now. So let's get into it. Um, let's look at where the Buffalo Bills were last year. So defensively, the Bills were not as good. Obviously not. We lost a lot of um, key guys on that roster, and a lot of them, that we usually rely on. Micah Hyde, Jordan Poyer, Leonard Floyd was there. He was a double-digit sack guy, first double-digit sack guy we've had in years. Um, some depth guys, Trey White, guys that have been staples in his defense over the last half decade or so. So, with that being said, also the trade with Stephon Diggs, we let go of. We basically had like $70 million worth of dead cap. So the way dead cap works, if you don't know already, is dead cap counts against your salary cap, but you don't have any players covering that dead cap money. So it's like you have the players, but you don't have them, if that makes sense. It's just this money is set aside. It would be going to these players, but because you cut them, that dead cap money sits on your books for that calendar year, or that not calendar year, but that league year. So 70 million in dead cap. Um, that's gone now. We have 12. I think we started out like 12.2 in dead cap. I think that's where we're at right now. But ultimately, last year we was broke boys, man. We couldn't really field a great team with a lot of studs on different levels because we just couldn't afford it. Justin Simmons was available, and he signed for cheap, and I feel like we probably could have made that move, but the Bills just kind of took their medicine and said, you know what, whatever, we're just gonna roll out with the guys that we think we can play with, and if this is a down year, it's a down year. Well, it wasn't. We ended up getting to the AFC Championship mainly because the offense was super efficient. They didn't turn the football over, and we took the ball away from other teams at an alarming rate. Um, when it goes to other metrics, sacks, etc., we were not top of the league. We were mid. We were mid. We were middle of the road. We were lower end of the league in third down defense, and we gave up a ton of conversions for 7 or more, ton of conversions on third down of 7 or more yards, which is not like that's not how the Bills move. They don't do that normally. So now we're in a new league year. Uh, we have 5 young guys at the beginning of this league year that needed to be extended. Those guys are pretty much all done now. Still, we need Benford, and if they decide to extend Cook, that'll be the other guy. Now it's time to start filling out the other areas of this roster that need the most help. Number one, I think the 2 main positions that need the most help, and I think when you put them in a hierarchy, I have to put them side by side. It's interior defensive tackle, interior defensive line, and cornerback. Cornerback too. Russell Douglas is going into free agency. He's 31. He had a down year. He looked slower than normal. I'd love to bring Russell back as a safety. I don't think he's um, capable of playing corner uh, for this team anymore. The amount of man coverage that they're running now, even with his zone coverage. He just was a little late. Like, I don't think he had any interceptions last year, which is weird because that's his thing. He's a tall, long, big frame corner, and he just couldn't get the ball, couldn't get interceptions last year. Half a second slow in his reaction. So normally for him, in 29-year-old Russell, that's an interception. This past year was a pass breakup or a completion and tackle. And we saw the same thing. We saw the same thing happen to Jordan Poyer over the last like 2 years, 3 years of his time in Buffalo. Last 2 years, I would say it was really evident the last 2 years. So we move forward, and we need to find, um, we need to get help, man, and let's look at corner first. We'll work our way outside, then and go and move in. Now there are some top guys um, that I'm gonna read off their names, and we're not getting any of these guys. So I mean, let's just put him out there. Carlton Davis, 28. Travarius Ward, he's 29, about to be 30. DJ Reed is 28. Him and Carlton Davis about the same age. Jonathan Jones and Byron Murphy. Jonathan Jones is 31. Byron Murphy's 27. Really good year this past year. So out of those guys, the Bills are probably not going to get any of them. I mean, they could probably get Travarius Ward. He's turning 30. Maybe they sign him to a short term, 2-year deal with some 4 years at the end. If he's playing well at 31, then we keep him for another year or so. But I would kind of I want the Bills to focus on getting a little younger. Carlton Davis, 28. He's gonna want a big deal, 4 years. Same thing with DJ Reed. Jonathan Jones is probably gonna want another payday. He's still a good corner. Lower the size, but he's still a very good corner. Byron Murphy, 27. He's gonna want the bag, so forget about it. Um, some of these guys I'm just not even gonna bring up because it's just not happening. I don't see them as actual options. So um, let's go with my most frugal target, and that would be where is he? Paulson Adebo. 25 is coming off. I believe he's coming off. Yeah, he's coming off his rookie deal, so he's going to want an upgrade, big time. I'm sure. He's 25, about a few months away from 26, and I like Paulson Adebo. I think he's got the athletic profile to kind of do what we need. Um, he played well when he played well. Sometimes he was inconsistent, but overall he was a good player for the Saints. Over his rookie deal, he won and kept that. He won that job and kept that job. And they tried to give it away a couple of times, but he was able to keep it. Um, he turned. He made Alontae Taylor into a slot guy. So yeah, and they took Alontae Taylor. I think they took him in the first or second. He was an early pick. Um, so that's a guy I think we could look at. I don't know exactly how much he's going to cost, but that's definitely somebody I would take a look at. Asante Samuel Jr. Same situation. He's going to want to get a pay bump. I don't know how much he will want, but that's something to look into because um, while you don't want to spend a ton of money, and we do have to extend Benford, who's probably going to cost somewhere in the neighborhood of $20 million. Um, to have two guys out there that are under contract for the next 3 to 4 years, and they're guys that have played. Like you already know what you're getting. It's not like you're throwing a rookie out there. You know what you're getting week to week by signing a veteran free agent, a guy like Asante Samuel or who did I just say? Oh yeah, Paulson Adebo. So those are the two guys that I'm like, yes, like those two young guys. I say if you're gonna go spend some money, you're gonna spend it there. That's fine, and that takes that need off the table for early in the draft. Then there is Christian Fulton, who came in with a lot of promise into Tennessee when he got drafted. Didn't really fulfill it. Went over to the Chargers. I think he was there for like 2 years, 2 years or something like that. And yeah, he didn't really play. He played well. He played better with the Chargers. I think that's a guy you could bring in and not break the bank and still kind of get a quality player. I love the coaching staff here when it comes to the secondary. So those guys will get the most. Like they squeeze blood out of his stone when it comes to the secondary guys. So you would expect them to get the most out of Christian Fulton's potential. Definitely like my priority signing if we were to take a corner, that's the guy that I would really, really, really want. It makes the most sense. Then there's Kendall Fuller. He's 30. Um, Played well. I thought he played well with Miami last year. I've always liked Kendall Fuller. I thought he was really solid when he played with the Commanders early on in his career. And now at 30, like I said, I thought he played well last year. I would take a flyer and give him a 2-year deal and see how it works. Um, he's a little more athletic than Russell Douglas, so I think I think he still has some good years at corner left. And those are my targets. I'm I'm a no for Dante Jackson. He's about to turn 30. No, thank you. Shaquille Griffin, no thank you, about to turn 30. Same thing. Like a lot of these guys, it's just no thanks. They either too much, not good enough, and not worth the investment. So those are my targets for corner. Let's go to defensive tackle. And mainly we're gonna focus on the interior defensive line. Um, BJ Hill is one guy that everybody likes to say, DJ Jones another one. Both of those guys are basically 30. Uh and they're probably going to cost somewhere around $8 to $10 million a year. Yeah, no thanks. I mean, I guess you could if you want. I guess I would. Me personally, I wouldn't. Um, so who's left, right? So you go down the list and you look at guys like Levi. I would Awunzurike, yeah, Awunzurike from the Detroit Lions. He's a defensive tackle you might want to take a look at. Derek Nandi is a guy that we know played for the Chiefs for a number of years. Basically, what we're looking for is a nose tackle style of defensive lineman, strong, powerful. more athletic than Daquan Jones and can push the pocket to allow the rest of the guys around them to be the best versions of themselves. Um, Milton Williams is coming off of a really good year with the Eagles. They won a Super Bowl. He's going to get paid. You hear me? He's going to get paid. Tier Tart's another one. We've tried that. We've talked it over with him and weren't able to get him. Bobby Brown, my favorite defensive tackle from the Rams. Athlete, super athlete, 6'4", 6'3", 6'4", 330 pounds. Had like almost a 9.5 on the RAS. Long arms, big guy. I think you bring him in. He's coming off of his rookie deal too. So let me make sure. I believe he's coming off of his rookie deal. He's a UFA, so what was he, undrafted? No, he's a fourth round pick. All right, cool. So yeah, he's undrafted. I mean, he's not undrafted. He's a UFA. He's a UFA this year. All right, so um, that's the guy I want. That's the priority for me. I think his price tag is probably in the middle, somewhere between 6 to 8. I would go closer to the 8 to ensure that we get him because we need a reliable replacement going forward for Daquan Jones. This really needs to be Daquan Jones's last year, point blank, period. And I wouldn't even guarantee him the spot on the roster, depending on how the draft goes. So, um, what am I saying? I'm saying that for this free agency period, you've seen the signings that we've already made, the extensions. I would like to bring Mac Hollins back. I don't know if there's a guarantee with that. I think they'll bring back some of the special teams guys um, that we let walk that are RFAs, the UFAs now. I think they bring a couple of those guys back. We've already cut our punter, Sam. What was his name? Sam something, whatever it was. We don't punt a lot, so whatever. He's no longer with us. We have Jake Camarda now, Camarda as the punter that we signed as a free agent last year. Young guy, lock him in. Cool, we're good. Um, so that frees us up to go into the draft, and you know, assuming the moves that I want to make, like signing a Christian Fulton and signing a Bobby Brown would give us veteran guys that can come in and you're comfortable with them as base level starters at their respective positions. Now, notice I did not mention edge, right? I didn't mention edge. I do think the Bills need to do something at edge, um, but I don't believe that the edge position is as big of a need as what people think. I also don't think we should do anything at wide receiver in free agency outside of Mac Hollins. Um, I'm not interested in going after DK Metcalf. I don't want to do that. A Bills fan on Twitter, shout out to Ben, made the suggestion about trading a day 3 pick, a late 4th, 5th round pick, something like that to Indianapolis for Alec Pierce. Alec Pierce is a guy basically without a spot right now. They have Michael Pittman. Michael Pittman's their longtime ex receiver. And then they drafted A.D. Mitchell, who is also basically an X, but they have him playing, as a Y right now. And then their Z receiver is Josh Downs. They love Josh Downs. They should love Josh Downs. He's a baller. So let's see what we got for defensive ends. Um, our name's been brought up. The Bills' name's been brought up with Josh Sweat. I don't think it's a major need. I don't want to spend that type of money on him. Jaron Reed's another name that was brought up. Dante Fowler, he's 30. He's basically 31. I'm good there. Jerry Hughes is still available. Wow. I wouldn't hate bringing Jerry Hughes back because I think Jerry Hughes should retire a Bill, but that's another conversation for another story. Um, But what would I do here at defensive end? Um, hmm. Yeah, I'm looking through over this list and I'm just like not really enamored with any of these names. Indy's got a guy, Dio Ode Yabingo or Ode Yingbo. I know I probably butchered his name. Uh, yeah, everybody else is just like who else? No. There's one guy that I think I wouldn't mind seeing us go after, but I don't know where he's at. It's not on this list, but all right. So ultimately, um, I don't look at edge as a major need. I really don't. Um, I don't think it's something that we should lose sleep over or look at as a huge, problem. Why do you say that? Why do you say that, Whittle? What do you mean? We're not getting sacks. Guys aren't getting double digit sacks. We can't get to the quarterback. Yada yada yada. I get it. I get it. The numbers that you see on the under the sack column don't look right. They're not what you think they should be. And you're right. They're not, right? But when I go and look at the analytics, right, I look at a guy like Rousseau, we just extended at a number of 4 years, 58 million. So that's a little quick math. 4 into 18. So about was it 14 and some change? I think. I mean, I tried to do it in my head and I just embarrassed myself. No, 14 and a half guaranteed. All right, so it's 4 years, $80 million, so it's 20 years per, but the guarantee money is 58. If you divide that 4 years, 58 million, we basically have Rousseau guaranteed on the books, period, $14.5 million a year. I think that's pretty good. He's one of the best run defenders. And to be honest with you, he's one of the best edge rushers in the NFL. He just doesn't have the numbers to back that claim up with. But I'm going to give you some advanced stats, advanced analytics that some of you don't want to hear, but it is what it is. Um, Gregory Rousseau last year 16 played 16 games, right? He missed one because of injury or whatever. And folks, he was tied for 11th in quarterback pressures, tied for 11th in the NFL amongst all players, 11th in putting pressure on the quarterback. Where is he at when it comes to quarterback hits, quarterback knockdowns? 10th, tied for 10th in the NFL amongst everybody. Where is he at with hurries? How many times did he hurry a throw? Top 20, tied for 17th with George Karlaftis and Nick Benito, who was in conversations for Defensive Player of the Year. Like, guys, he is winning. He is doing what his job. He really is. It's just they're not completing the sacks. They're not getting home, right? Even Von Miller's in limited snaps, he's still getting home. He's still getting to the quarterback. He's still hurrying the quarterback, still getting pressures. Why aren't they completing sacks? Why aren't they getting these quarterbacks on the ground? Two reasons. There's no interior pass rush. There's no interior push. Sometimes if Ed's not double teamed, Ed's going to have a game. He's going to have a day. But if he is double teamed, you need the other interior defensive lineman to push the pocket. We haven't had that. Enter in your Bobby Brown. 6'3", 6'4", 330 pounds, powerful guy, strong, 34-inch arms. That's the guy. You make him pay, Bobby. You make him pay for double and A, right? That's what you want. You don't want to give the quarterback a place to escape. The other reason is the coverage. The coverage is bad last year, guys. It was bad. I know we look at Benford and we had a lot. We won 13 games and we went to the AFC Championship, and all of those things are great. They really are. Um, but ultimately, the real reason why the third down defense is so bad and why we're not getting home is because these guys don't cover long enough to give the pass rush an opportunity to get home. Case in point, look at the AFC Championship game. Patrick Mahomes' average time to throw during that game was 2.59 seconds. Um, I put his passing chart up in tweets and things like that from that game. He was basically perfect um, from 0 to 10 yards away. And why is that important? Why is that important? Why does that matter, right? The reason why it matters is simple. Um, if he's getting the ball out quick, the pass rusher is just not doesn't have time to get there. The fastest sack in the NFL is slightly over 2 seconds. Okay, that's the fact. The fastest sack the Buffalo Bills got this year was by Von Miller, and it took place and it happened in 2.64 seconds. That's the fastest sack. So if the average time to throw for Patrick Mahomes is less than the best, fastest sack time we have on the team for the entire year, that's a problem. That is a problem. We have to have guys in the secondary that remain sticky. They have to have it. Got to. Okay. Another another ad I would like in free agency is safety. Now our starting safeties are pretty locked in. Um, Taylor Rapp coming back, he's going to be a starter, and as of right now, Cole Bishop's the other starter. I would like to add some competition there. And do I want to do it in the draft? Absolutely. Yes, I do want to go to the draft and get a guy, but I also would like to go into free agency and see if we can go get a guy. So, guy like Julian Black. Right, we tried to get him last year. He said no. He decided to stay with Indianapolis, and he took a 1-year deal with them. He's still available now. Um, we're not going to get Javon Holland. Like, he's available, but we're not going to get him. And most of these other guys, we really just don't want. But Andre Cisco is another guy. He's coming off his rookie deal. He's probably going to back, but the back for safeties is not crazy. Like, I think you can get Cisco for $7 or $8 million, and that would be great because Cisco's really a free safety. So I think if you put him and Rapp out there together, they're extremely interchangeable because Rapp is confident and comfortable playing closer to the box. He doesn't have a problem with that. He does not have a problem. We call him Kamikaze Rapp, and he lives up to his name because he hurts himself, hurts other players, and hurts our players. But you get a guy like that, it makes a lot of sense because if and when he gets injured because of his style of play, um, if Cisco's the other starter, Cisco remains at the free safety spot. You bring Cole Bishop in, and Cole Bishop is interchangeable, but he's much more comfortable closer to the line of scrimmage. So in the event that we lose Rapp, we bring Bishop in. I thought Bishop had a really good game against the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game. There's some promise there, 100%. Bring him in, sign him, and and you bring in a Cisco. He is now your free safety. Rapp is your strong. Cole Bishop, if he doesn't beat out Rapp for the spot, Cole Bishop's the backup off the bench. And now you go into the draft and say, I would like a guy like Nicky Manwari. I would like a Malachi Starks, but it's not pertinent that I take one because I don't need either one of those guys to be the starter right now. And if I'm not drafting you, I'm not drafting anybody in the first or second round to sit the bench. I'm not doing that. The guys that I'm drafting, I'm expecting those guys to come in and win the job that they are drafted to do, win that position that they're drafted in. So let's go to the draft. So, all right, real quick. Um, I think if you go get a Christian Fulton, I think you can get a Christian Fulton for $9 million a year. If you go and get a Bobby Brown, I think you can get Bobby Brown for seven. Let's just say 6 to 8. Let's go with 7.5. We're at $16.5 million. Spent in free agency. Now you throw in a Andre Cisco. Um, I'm sure there'll be other teams that will be looking for his services. But we're the Bills, and we're gonna get what we want, right? That's the purpose of this. Um let's throw 8.5. Let's throw 9 at him. Let's throw 9 at him. So now where are we at? 18 between him and Fulton. And I'm not even sure that Fulton's gonna cost 9, but I'm just saying 9, for whatever. So 18 plus another 7.5. So we're at 25, 26 million. The Bills can clear $40 million with, you know, a couple of restructures and um, a Von Miller uh, pay cut, right? So we can clear that money and then we can move on to the draft. Now, let's go to the draft. Like, if I'm looking at the draft, let me pull up the PFF, pull up this PFF thing. PFF mock simulator. All right. So I'm gonna go into the PFF mock simulator. I'm gonna select the Bills clearly. Uh, what are we doing, guys? I gotta sign in. Bloopity blue, blue. Got it. All right, we're in. We are. I'll share the screen now so you guys can see. Oh wait, I got this thing here, right? Let's go. Let's go. All right, cool. We in here. All right. Y'all know how this works, man. We select Buffalo. We'll set it for 7 rounds. Put the randomness up a little bit because the draft be getting crazy, son. It be getting crazy, son. All right. Care for positional value because I do think that is important, but it's not super important. Let's lower the speed a bit because we want to be able to see if we need to step in, make sure we get our dot. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look. The Buffalo Bills have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 draft selections right now. I think we might be getting a few more. For comp pick purposes, I think they'll announce that. I'm not sure. I think, or we might be. This just might be it. We might just have 10. Uh, um, and yeah, I don't feel like we need to do anything as far as making a trade for Trey Hendrickson or it'd be nice if we did, but I don't think we need to. I think we're fine where we are, guys. I know that's not popular, but let's take a look at the Colts. Wide receiver. Oh, I'd love to get this kid, man. Nick Cross. Ooh. Oh, Nick Cross is the dog, bro. I would not mind Nick Cross at all. All right, wide receiver. There we go. All right, Alec Pierce. Like I said, he's a man without a home. Let's see. Would they take a fifth? Yeah, you're not getting a second for Alec Pierce, so like that's weird. Let's see. Nope. Not a fifth. Let's try the fourth. Oh, word, son? Word? All right, so well, this thing's not gonna do it, but we know for sure. Well, I'm not gonna say we know for sure, but most likely. Like you saw what they have. Like we'll pull this up again. Michael Pittman, they just paid. Josh Downs is the slot guy. Anthony Gold is another slot type gadget. super fast receiver. They like him a lot. A.D. Mitchell, they drafted last year. Like he's coming up on the end of his contract. He's out of here. They're not. I don't think they're gonna pay him. And they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They have 7 selections. I'm sure one of these selections from them is going to be a wide receiver, especially if they were to trade Alec Pierce. But for the purposes of this draft right now, we're not going to trade for Alec Pierce. Let's go. All right. So we're going through the draft. You see these guys coming off the board. Wow, Nicky Minwari went to the Jets. That's crazy. Okay, one corner. Johnny Banks came off the board already. We're in good shape. All right. I am of the belief that we need to shore up the coverage first. And not because I think that the coverage is more important necessarily the uh than the pass rush, but I just think the pass rush is so deep. Like we really could use I think we can wait. But at the same time, Matthew Golden is sitting here. And this is how I look at this. Matthew Golden to me is the best receiver in this draft. After that combine, he runs a 4.3. He doesn't play like that. But that speed is there. We know it's there. And then there's also Walter Nolan, 6'5". I'm it's weird right now because we scored a lot of points last year. So we don't necessarily need the receiver this early. However, if Matthew Golden's there, I'm taking him, bro. I'm sorry. So I'm gonna draft Matthew Golden and hope that, the corner Maxwell Harrison, wow, he went right away. All right. Let's see. Ash Thomas went. Trey Amos is gone. Yikes. Amos and Alfred Collins are gone, guys. Those are two guys that I really, 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 really wanted us to get. All right, so the two corners that I'm looking at here, I'm gonna go to isolate it so you can see a little bit better. All right, Siobhan Ravel, and Darian Porter. Benjamin Morrison is cool. He had a hip injury. I'm good, bro. I don't want to deal with a corner with a hip injury like right out the gate. Um, Not shown here is the UTSA corner, Za Frazier, ZAH Frazier, Frazier. I would suggest that you guys go look into him. He is excellent. Um, so here I'm probably like Porter's a little older, but yeah, 24 already, but like 6'4", 200, man. Like I mean that he ran a 4.3. Let's see if we can find. Do they have his? No, they don't have his RAS or anything. Trends analyses. Okay. So listen, if y'all know me, y'all been following me on Twitter, y'all know I was big on Zion McCollum. Um, this is for me. I understand he's a little older. I don't care when win now mode. I think that his size and athletic profile is what and then let me not say that this guy doesn't kind of fit that as well. 6'3", 193. He is a beast, guys. Like, I mean, he's coming off of an ACL, so I don't know how good he's going to be immediately. I do think he'll be good. I think he'll be really good. They give him, a comp of Tariq Woolen, who's a really good player. Y'all know I love Tariq Woolen, so I mean, either way, I think you can't go wrong. But we're in win now mode. Darian Porter to me is the better athlete and is not coming off of an injury. Um, he also played like special teams too, like his speed. ran a 4.3 something. Um, Let me see. I'll pull it up really, really fast on my phone, and I'll tell you guys. Darian Porter. Darian Porter Raz. All right, so where are we at with Darian Porter? Raz scores a 9.99, guys. Arm length, 33 inches. 40-yard dash, 4.3 flat. 4.3 flat. He's 6 foot 2 and 2 inches. He's 6 foot 2 and 7/12 of an inch, right? 6'2.7". 36.5 inch vertical, 195, hand size is 9. I mean, like elite shuttle. His shuttle was a 404, bro. That's crazy. 4 second shuttle is wild. I'm gonna take Darian Porter because the athletic profile. I love what McDermott and his coach staff have done with corners. You get a guy like this, extremely coachable kid coming out of Iowa State. Um, I think he becomes a stud on this team. I believe he was a converted receiver as well. Not a lot of snaps at corner. Yeah, he's a converted receiver. So, but you know the hands are there. So, give me Darian Porter right here. And let's see, Trey Harris went wild. Okay, so now we get to the part where um, I say you go for. Let's say we go for need safety. I'm good there. Uh, Defensive interior. Shamar Turner's there. Joshua Farmer's there, who I like a lot. Um, so don't be fooled by these numbers, folks. 6'3", 318. Probably going to play bigger than that. So he's probably going to be a tweener between like a big three tech and a lighter size, lighter sized one technique nose tackle type. Um, Pros, low pad level in the stance, good pop, contact and out back blockers, arm length. Yep, all of that. Needs a deeper pass rush back because yeah, I don't these kinds don't matter to me. This does though. Gets walled off, angled too easily in run defense. That's something he has to work on. But I think with the signing of Bobby Brown, you give him time to come in. You give this young man, Jordan Farmer, time to come in and kind of learn, right? Um, I'm not taking Shamar Turner here because he's too small, in my opinion. I know it says 6'4", 200, 300. He's not. He came in, he was like, I think it was like 276 or 280 something. He did not come in at that size. Omar Norman Lott, no. He is a three technique, 100%. Jordan Phillips is intriguing as well. And normally I would pass on taking a guy right here, but you know what? You know what? We're gonna take yeah. Well, no. Let's see what the trade looks like. Oh, I'm not trading all the way back to 97, guys. Can't do that. Can't do that. All right, so we're stuck. We're stuck. We gotta take a guy. Um and I'm gonna uh, I don't know. See now now yeah, this is the guy. Jordan Phillips is gonna be the guy. And this is the reason why is because I think I think while Joshua Farmer is limited in some athletic areas, Jordan Phillips is not. Jordan Phillips is strong as an ox. He's very, very good against the run. I think he can become a good pass rusher, and it may take some time, but that's fine. We have Ed Oliver, we have Dwayne Carter. Those guys are responsible for the interior pass rush. We need guys that are going to come in, be big, and be bullies, and push the pass and push the pocket. This is who this is. I'm going to take Jordan Phillips right there. Jordan Phillips comes off the board at 62, which is very high for him. The Chiefs are bugging. They took two corners. Okay, they took two corners. That's kind of crazy. That's kind of nuts. But we got the guys we wanted. So, is he gonna fall to us? Did he fall to us, ladies and gentlemen? At 108, normally right here, this would be a place that I would take probably go safety, right? But because is there safety? I'm not. I don't want Castro. Castro's like a slot Sanker, though. And this is where you're happy that you signed Andre Cisco in the offseason as a free agent. You brought him in. You're not pressed to go out and get a safety. Would you like one? Sure. But it doesn't have to be right now. What safeties are left? Let's take a look. All right. We don't I personally do not want Sebastian Castro. I don't want him. I would love Jonas Sanker, but he's not going to be there when we get to 131. That's 23 picks away. He's not going to be there. Billy Bowman. I mean, I'm not the biggest Billy Bowman fan. Uh this guy here, Charles Woodson's son, he ran a 4.46, folks. 6 feet 210, built like Micah Hyde. He doesn't really get drafted a lot, but that's because people don't understand who he is. This is the guy you take a chance on late in the draft, right? The athletic testing is there. Let me pull up his RAS score just to make sure. Just to make sure. Right. Okay. Craig Woodson, free safety, California, the son of NFL Hall of Famer Charles Woodson. Yes, this is his son. 6 foot 6 feet tall. He he weighed in at 200 flat, which is great. Uh, arm length, not crazy, 30.5 inches. That's cool. Uh, ran a 4.46 unofficial. Um, explosion stuff is there. This is a guy you take a chance on late in the draft. I'm doing it. I'm not doing it right now, but that's a guy I would say take. But who I'm going to take a chance on right now is I believe this young man, Deion Walker, could end up being um, he could end up being Chris Jones, or he could be Raekwon Davis. Okay, so they don't even have anything on him. All right, well, 6'6", 345. Um, not the greatest, not the greatest tape. He's got some stellar tapes, and he's got some tape where you're like, this guy shouldn't even be on the field. But at the fourth round, the size, the measurables, potentially what he could be, I'm going to take a chance. You draft him here, and then you run that card up. Jamari Caldwell goes right after that to the Jets. That's an excellent pickup for them. Notice, folks, we still have not touched edge rusher. Still. And that's the place we could have went right there. But again, I don't think we need to. I think we're good. Um, Jaden Blue is interesting here. Texas running back, extremely fast. He's the type of guy that if James if Cook want to keep playing, man, we draft this guy. Love him. Rashard Smith, love him as a fit for the Bills to replace James Cook. Um, they had him work with the receivers as well at the combine. Fast, decent vision. You watch him on film, he's elusive. He knows how to make people miss in space. Um, so yeah, we're gonna stick with the need here. Sebastian Patchell is still on the board, guys. Taking him here would be insane value. David Walker is another edge guy, edge prospect that I like. Let's see what we have at defensive end or edge. Yeah, like Antoine Power Rolling, like him. Ethan Down, solid. Who else is out here? It's kind of it. The edge is kind of, I'm kind of good on these guys. I think Ja Joyner, another guy that's a solid prospect, but I feel like if you don't take David Walker, you miss out. Or if you don't take Antoine Powell Ryland, you miss out. These are guys that truly fit what the Bills want to do from an edge perspective. Yeah, I'm passing though because this I think Rashard Smith is too much of a fit for what he does. He's too much of a fit. Uh really good receiver, can run the football. Whatever, ball security issues are there, I am just fine with. I mean, they fixed James Cook, they'll fix him too. Smith could be a highly productive receiving back in an offense that emphasizes his skill, set, and ability to align anywhere in the field, while he likely doesn't have the frame to handle 20 plus touches per game. 5'10", 196. And he's from Florida, especially with his ability to create mismatches inside against inside defenders in the passing game. Yeah. Former receiver who transitioned to running back after transferring to SMU. He's back yeah. I'm I'm all over this if it's me. Likely too small to handle workload, then build limited effectiveness and pass protection. Sounds like James Cook to me. Shades of Naeem Hines. I mean, we had Naeem Hines. We like Naeem Hines. I like Richard Smith. Let's take a look at Jaden Blue. Uh, this kid's fast too. 6 feet, 200. Blue is one of the best athletes in the 2024 running back class. With top tier long speed and short area explosiveness, if he can add strength and improve his ball security, he has potential to be a home run threat in a two-back committee. Two-back committee, you say? How about three-back committee? Because we got Ray Davis and we have we're gonna get Ty Johnson back in free agency. Bet on that. Um, 4-star recruit, yeah. Uh, similar stuff, man. Needs to improve ball security. He had 4 fumble loss, lacks the strength and destiny to be effective in pass. So the two guys I'm talking, they both have long speed, do not have the ball security issue and um, lack of strength. This is Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard's a good player. But yeah, I don't think you can go wrong with either guy. The home run hitter here is Jaden Blue. I think Rashard Smith's a better fit for what we're looking for, but I'm gonna take the pure runner in Jaden Blue, and we'll let Ty Johnson continue to be the receiving back. Boom, we're taking Jaden Blue here. Next selection isn't until 171. So we got 3, 4, 5 picks remaining. I doubt we use these selections. All of them. We'll definitely trade some of this to move up in the draft, or if not move up, but move around for sure. Here we go. What's left? Quinn Ewers is there. Wouldn't mind that. Danny Stutzman, Tyler Show. I like Tyler Show. So here we haven't touched linebacker, and we do have an opening for a backup quarterback. I'm not going to take Quinn Ewers because I don't think we could protect him if he were on the PS. Let's see what we got at tight end. Jalen Conyers still there. Okay. What about safety? We got the safety. Okay, Caleb is here. Craig's still there. So is Malachi Moore. I like Malachi Moore as well. So he's the one who's got to work for me. Um, but here, let's take a look at Caleb. Don't pay attention to last year. Like last year, Tulane didn't. Tulane wasn't what it should have been. Yeah, he's a nickel guy, but can definitely play safety, and that kind of fits what we look for in Buffalo. And you notice how remember what have we done so far, right? Wide receiver, uh, halfback, corner, defensive tackle, nose tackle style, and this guy's just kind of like a defensive lineman, and we can just move wherever we want. So I'm gonna take Caleb Renshaw here. What's is there anybody here worth Danny Stutzman? I mean, we don't really need linebacker. So yeah, Stutzman. And we got multiple picks, man. Renshaw, now watch Renshaw not be there. Watch him go. Watch somebody take him. Oh, look at that. So all right, so we took Danny Stutzman. If y'all don't know, y'all gonna learn today. 6'4", 240. For all of those people who want a traditional linebacker, boom, you got one. Downhill dude, uh, run stuffing guy, athletic as heck, rad score out the wazoo. Not great in coverage, but you know who else wasn't great in coverage? Uh, you know who else wasn't great in coverage? Um, what's that big guy that we drafted that was like 17 years old? Yeah, Tremaine Edmonds. He wasn't great in coverage either. He really wasn't. He was just big and long arms, and he just occupied a lot of space. So, let's take a look at Stutzman's RAS score. A 9.53. That's really, really good. Arm length of 32 and a quarter, or less than a quarter. 32 and an eighth. 6'4", 200 or 6'3". Excuse me, I'm reading the official. It's official tissue here. Official. Oh, you can't see it. Well, whatever. 6'3", 233 pounds. He ran a 4.5 to unofficial, and I'm gonna take that guy because can put him. I can play him in special teams. I can play him the goal line. I can, like. There's a lot of things I can do with him. Might put him on the edge as a blitzer. I might bring him down as a blitzer and use him to crash into the line and free somebody else up. So yeah, I mean it's just another chess piece, man. You can throw him in there, and the way that they doing the way that the kickoff, coverage is now. If you kick it in that target landing zone, and these guys have to return it. You want bigger guys that can take on blocks, but still athletic enough to make tackles in space. That's a guy that can do that. And now we're going to take Caleb Randsaw, guys. Yes. All right. 178, top of the sixth round. We're going to take our backup quarterback here, Kyle McCord, out of Syracuse. I like McCord as far as a prospect. I think he's solid. Um, yeah, solid, solid. Went to Ohio State. Didn't really pan out for him there, so he transfers out to Syracuse, tears it up at Syracuse. All right, where are we at? Wide receiver. 'Cause we haven't taken one yet. Now we are going to trade for. I like in my scenario, we trade for Alex Pierce. Alex Pierce. But in the event that he does not work out, you still want to protect yourself. You take a Ty Felder here. He Ty Felder's not going to be there at this point, but this is where he's at on this PFF thingy. So we're gonna take him here. And we took Ransaw and we're going to also take Craig Woodson because he's a guy I think we can stick on the practice squad, coach him up, and then unleash him in 2026 as a uh as a guy that's going to make uh Cisco expendable. Or he'll stink and he didn't get any of his father's great coverage ability. His tape looks fine, but um, yeah, we're gonna take Craig Woodson here, another free safety style of player, and we're good. We're good to go. That's the last selection for us. The rest of the draft's gonna go, and let's see where we're at. Let's see what grade we got. Give him a second. Here we go. All right. We took Jordan Phillips when we could have taken Shamar Turner. I'm fine with that. Be able to see for that Ransaw game. It's a D. That's a bad. That's a bad pick. Same thing with Craig Woodson here. I don't really care about that stuff, but I mean, listen, if this is the draft that we get, where we get Matthew Golden and a Ty Felton, yeah, sign me up. Add those guys to what we already have right now. Yeah, sign me up. Like, sign me up for that. Jordan Phillips is going to make everybody else behind him better. Darian Porter comes in, I think, as I think I think he would sit year one. I don't think he would beat out Fulton. It's possible, but I don't know that he beats out Fulton immediately. But I think eventually he ends up being a starter, and then Fulton is a prime backup on a Super Bowl winning team because that's where this season is going to end up with Matthew Golden and the rest of these monsters. Uh, so yeah, that's the draft, and yeah, that's where we're at. So I'm gonna get out of here, and thank you guys for watching. This has been an off season. This has been a off-season based on building around the young core. We extended some young guys. I still think Benford's coming up on his extension, and hey, look, you signed Fulton, and you draft Porter. If you, for some reason, you can't pay, you can't come to an agreement with Christian Benford. I think that's still solid, right? Those guys they can cover for more than 2.5 seconds. They'll give the pass rush a chance to get home, which I think will be fine. We didn't take an edge. We don't need an edge. I don't believe we need an edge. Adding an edge would be nice. I wouldn't mind adding an edge in free agency. It's not a dire need. Like I think we get home with the guys that we have. Von's going to take a pay cut. He's depth. He's fine in limited minutes, limited snaps. AJ Epinesa had 6 sacks. He played less than 40% of the snaps. He's fine. Um, I think adding the interior pass rush or adding the interior power of a Jordan Phillips will force other guys to get more sacks. I think Rousseau's sack numbers go up. I think Evanessa's sack numbers go up. Javon Solomon probably will get some sacks, some more sacks based on the interior pass rush. But ultimately, I think this is fine. Ransaw, uh, I think he can play safety. I think he can also be the long-term replacement at nickel for Taron Johnson. And yeah, Kyle McCord is the backup, and that's where we're at. I think this is a pretty good, solid pickup, solid haul. And with that, I'm out of here, man. I appreciate you guys tuning in. And as always, go Bills.